business owners in Manhattan are voicing their concerns about the financial toll that congestion pricing will take.
They say that by forcing shoppers to pay more to drive in is essentially going to shutter businesses that are already struggling. This is such a bad news for us.
So it turns out the city's new plan to tax everyone on the road won't just eliminate vehicle traffic. New information's come out suggesting it's going to also eliminate all of the foot traffic many small businesses rely on to survive, closing some of them down permanently.
A day of dueling demonstrations.
What do we want? After budget. When do we want it?
Now. We have been here almost 200 years, but this congestion pricing is going to kill us.
The businesses depend on the tourists, but with congestion pricing set to go into effect, things could get worse for these business owners.
Everything will cost more. How dumb is that?
Trucks that need to make multiple deliveries per day will be charged for each trip.
How much money do you think you can be losing?
About like $10,000 a month. I'm not sure.
I should be retired by now. We're losing so much.
I live here. I work here. I cry every day when I see the deterioration of these neighborhoods.
It will deliver faster buses, cleaner air.
The vast majority of people can take mass transit.
An estimated $2 billion is essential to maintaining and expanding a sprawling mass transit system.
If this is going to be the first in the country, we need to get it right. And this is not right.
As for the small business owners, well, they say they're just trying to survive.
So the
Hey, first of all, Shalawam, Shalawam. Hey, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. Shalawam to the elect, 144,000, as well as the 1/3 men, women, and children maintaining themselves
as for the small
in this truth. I'm gonna get back to that one part right here. Yeah. Right here. Dang. Let me just pass it one more time.
To survive.
Alright, so hey, this is actually taking place, man. Businesses are being destroyed on purpose. Okay? So you have, as you hear in there, a lot of what we call decrees, okay? Taxes and such things, certain laws being passed to regulate and control basically commerce. Alright? So I think the title of this video probably going to be Economic Wounds or Economic Woes. Alright, Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And this is very grievous to all these people that are, making a living off of traveling, off of, they said trucks that make multiple deliveries to the same place. They have to pay every time they come in. Alright, so let's get the word grievous. Yes.
Strong's H 5999. Amal.
And it'll be toll, trouble, labor, trouble, mischief, toll, labor. Alright. And matter of fact, I'll get it over here. 1 second. So Isaiah 10. And 1. Boom. So toll, trouble, labor, trouble, mischief, toll, labor. This is grievous to these people, and it's making the environment hard, man. It's making, that one dude said he's gonna lose $10,000 because of these certain laws, these certain activities that's taking place. Alright, and what comes to mind is basically, let's go get in the Apocrypha, 2nd Esdras. Alright, the 15th chapter, around the 15th verse, right here, 13. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fall through the blasting and hell, and with a fearful constellation. Their seed is basically what you're putting down with your labor, your work, right? That you're trying to reap. Now, it's going to be extremely hard for these people to maintain a basic living. Alright, as many people are choosing to leave New York, and live somewhere else. The same for all major cities, man. California, Philadelphia, because the laws, the wicked decrees are being passed. And that is in turn going to create economic woes. As people leave, you are losing you losing business, right? And they bringing these migrants in, as brothers can see, you know, if brothers been paying attention to that, they're bringing all these type of migrants in, and they're not producing the same economic value, okay, that these people were producing. So you have a big shift in the country, as we can see, and it's been gradually being done as many businesses are closing. Now I want to go and get that over here, right here. All right, so I looked up all businesses closing in 2024, and this is just a short list. I got another article that I'm gonna show that shows a lot of them. Let's get to it though. Foot Locker. Alright, shoe retailer Foot Locker announced last year that it plans to close 400 locations by 2026. Alright, many locations are in the mall. Alright, Rite Aid, and Rite Aid is actually going into bankruptcy right now. Things aren't looking good for Rite Aid these days, which according to a September 2023 article in Forbes has announced plans to close between, let's actually go into that. Just want to see how many stores they closing. Whoa. On May 3rd, 2024. Oh, that's Route 21. Let's get it. Well, actually, this is straight. We could use this. As you can see, they talking about all these other shops that's going out of business. Alright, just going through the list. It's major. I didn't even know Sears was still in business. The Sears that they had out here, they've been closed that down. Alright, here goes the Rite Aid. Things aren't looking good for Rite Aid these days, which according to September 2023 article in Forbes has announced plans to close between 400 and 500 of its 2,330 stores. For comparison, CVS has nearly 10,000 physical stores and Walgreens has almost 9,000. Rite Aid filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in October 2023. It has secured financing from lenders to keep itself afloat while it reworks its business. Right? So, you know, and this is a similar thing to a lot of companies, right? Because it's hard out here for them. And when it's hard for major corporations, you know it's hard for the little man. You know? Definitely. All right? Let's go get this one. Man, these ads. More companies announced they are closing stores in 2024. Come on, man. With these ads, yo. How you get these ads off? Continue reading. Alright, I'll get what I can get. I might have to turn it the other way. Yeah, let's do the other one. They hitting me hard with ads over here. Full list of over 3,000 stores closing their doors in 2024. Express, Family Dollar, and Dollar Tree closes. Over 600 stores will be closing this year. Route 21 is closed behind after announcing the close of all 540 locations. All locations. So Route 21 is done. Right? Here we go, the list. Family Dollar and Dollar Tree, 620. Route 21, 540. One in Rome, 99-cent stores, 371. CVS, 315. That's not really hitting a dent on them. 7-Eleven, 272. Rite Aid, 165. And as we read, it was far more. You know. Express, 105. Walgreens, 77. Macy's, 51. The Body Shop, 51. Sauce Surroundings, 43. Sleep Number, 40. Burlington Stores, 39. Foot Locker, 36. Foxtrot and Dooms. And as we read in that other article, Foot Locker is going to be far more. Doom's Kitchen Market, 35. Carter's, 30. Abercrombie & Fitch, 22. You know, basically what are you seeing is Babylon is basically gradually shutting down. This is the economic woe, because this is all gonna take effect. Everything has a cause and effect when it comes to this place. So with all these places closing, and those are just, you know, we could go deeper into it. I want to get some scriptures. All right, so let's take it over here. Hey, what should come to mind is Revelations 18 already. Let's start at the top. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right, and let's precept that with Jeremiah, right? 51 and I believe 7. Yeah, con. All right, Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahawah's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And what is that word? You know, real quick. Suddenly.
Strong's H 6597. Pithom.
Suddenly, surprisingly. Alright, suddenness. So out of nowhere. Like we said, this has been happening gradually, but soon it's gonna pick up, it's gonna ramp up. Because Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is gonna basically put a push on it, put a move on it. And before you know it, it's gonna look like how San Francisco and Oakland is looking like right now. You know, a lot of businesses closed, a ghost town. You know, and that's the way that New York is also looking right now. Let's get back to the video.
As for the small business owners, well, they say they're just trying to survive.
So the powers that be want us to believe New York's new taxes will be good for us. But what nobody's talking about is that although it's definitely going to reduce the number of cars on the road, the city is totally unprepared for what happens next. Because our public transit is so terrible and crime-ridden, people are afraid to use it. It's also impossible to use to deliver things like groceries to a grocery store or clothing to a clothing store, which means those businesses are going to have to pay more for their inventory. And now we know that not only will it eliminate the cars on the road, it's going to eliminate the people on the street, which means less customers for all of these stores paying obnoxious New York City rents. And even though the city says they're going to improve the subway, the fact is the day congestion pricing starts, the subway will have National Guard troops in it because it's still experiencing 6 felonies a day. And if an unusable subway wasn't bad enough, we already know that congestion pricing is going to do the opposite of what it claims to do here in other boroughs, creating more problems than it may solve. And once you realize that, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the end game here is to roll congestion pricing out everywhere, because it is both the cure of and solution to all of New York City's traffic problems. And the real reason small businesses are worried about this new tax is because although the city's got the perfect plan in place to make itself rich, it's going to come at their expense, and there's no plan in place to keep them from shutting down.
زهقان وملان ومش طايق نفسك صاحي بالليل ومش لاقي حد تكلمه حمل ابلكيشن سوليد شيل هناك هتلاقي
So here we are in Chinatown, in the congestion zone, and what we've been told about congestion pricing is it's supposed to be great for the zone itself, but we're learning that's not the case, because there are little neighborhoods like this all over Manhattan that have dynamics that don't make them compatible with a tax on driving.
Chinatown is known for its history, food, unique retail, fish markets, and more. The businesses depend on the tourist, but with congestion pricing set to go into effect, things could get worse for these business owners.
$15 for the people in that.
So Chinatown has a unique problem when it comes to congestion pricing, and it's not the only neighborhood in this position, but the first thing is that it's very isolated down here. Yes, there's a lot of people. Look at this map. You've got subway service on the outskirts of the neighborhood, but as you travel into it, there are no public transportation options, which means that many of the folks that get here do so in a manner that does not require public transportation. And a lot of those people, those are customers of these local businesses. And if they have to pay more to come here, the businesses, like possibly this florist, they're afraid that they might decide not to. And if that happens, a lot of these businesses are not going to be able to afford to stay open. They're going to have to shut down, and this is a 200-year-old neighborhood. And since 2020, a lot of the businesses down here have been struggling. And now they're...
Hey, it's over for this place, man, as we can see. So let's get back to it. Let's go back to Revelations 18. Because the way, as he's explaining it, the way they're set up and the way that it's costing people more money to go to these businesses and, you know, the zoning and things like that, people aren't going to do that because they don't have the money to spend. You know, if like using common sense, man, if it's, you got a solid place that you go to and it's been like basically you put a hazard in the way of getting to it, making it hard to get to, then you might just change your mind and go somewhere else that's closer and that's more convenient to get to, right? That you could just easily, because in New York, I know they taking the trains a lot and things like that, you know? So you're not really gonna go out your way when you don't have the money, you don't have the finances. You know, man, we in Babylon, man, living check to check. So most of the times we don't got the finances to be doing all of that stuff. All right. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins and that you receive not of her plagues. And this is also speaking of the chariots. You know, you can look at it spiritually as well as saying you got to come out of this place, all right, spiritually. But it's more so speaking about the chariots, all right. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and power hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. So they're going to get, hey, you reap if what you sow. If Yahawah is not mocked, they're going to get what they deserve. All right, every man, every sister is going to get what they deserve. All right. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death in mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahawah power who judgeth her. At the end of the day, you know. And I'm gonna go to Lamentations. It just came to mind and had it written down as well. Lamentations 4:17. As for us, our eyes are yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. You're not going to be able to save Babylon, man. You got to let this place go. Yahawah has ordained for this place to be destroyed via ICBM missiles, okay? And many plagues that are going to take place prior to those missiles hitting this place and burning it, all right? And shoot, he's actually going to turn other nations on this place, right? Where is it at? They shall hate the whore. Revelation 17, right here. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's basically NATO turning on this place, man. 10 kings on the earth, all right, turning on America, the whore, all right, and burning her with fire, basically sending nukes over here. So you're going to have them, you're going to have Russia, you're going to have the Hamites, you're going to have Iran, you're going to have India, China, North Korea, all of these countries, man. Basically, everybody's going to decide that, hey, America is the cancer to the earth, which she definitely is, okay? And then those people are going to get it because Yahawah hasn't forgotten. He doesn't forget, you know? Verse 9 in Revelations 18. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty cry, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. Right? And let's take that to Isaiah, the 47th chapter. Right? And really, I want to read. Let's start at the top, man. You know, and let's read down to 15. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. It's been revealed who this woman is. All right? It's being revealed all her wicked schemes, her unrighteous decrees, right? Her citizens, her own citizens, they're complaining about what she's doing to them, you know? And then finally they're gonna realize, man, what the brother's saying on the corners is true. All right? Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover thine, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, and I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. And what comes to mind, one second. All right, Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So basically, you know, these Edomites are being revealed, man. And America is the first one to get dealt with. All right, and those over in Israel, they're going to get dealt with as well, as far as ICBM missiles hitting that place as well. And then you have the so-called Russians, you have the so-called Germans, right, getting dealt with, the Frenchmen, the Italians, the British. You have all these Edomite nations getting dealt with. Swedes, right, all of them, man, okay? These Edomites is getting dealt with from clan to clan, from tribe to tribe, right? So let's keep it going. And hey, this is Yahawashi, man. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. You know? As for our Redeemer, Yahawah of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. And we know Yahawashi was given the power, right? He was given the power to do all of this, to be the judge, to come back and give the vengeance. All right? So he's not going to meet no one as a man. All right? He's coming with that spiritual power. He's coming with the chariots. He's coming out of the sky with the clouds, which are the chariots. And he's coming to bring the sword, not peace. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them unto thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. But hey, we know in Revelations 18, man, she's revealed. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am and none else beside me, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of the children. Man, let's take it back. Let's take it back over here real quick and get that, right? How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. This is why her plagues are going to come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahawah power who judgeth her, man. So understanding that, man, this lady, this place, this whore, this nation is done. It's done, man. All right. Neither shall I know. She don't feel like she's gonna lose children. You know, they feel like their houses shall never fall, loosely quoting. That's how they feel. Verse 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. You got Hollywood, you got Atlanta, you got the music industry, you have the food, you have the pharmacia industry, right? These are all enchantments. These are all witchcraft, okay? For thou have trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Her iniquities have reached heaven, all right? The report has been made, okay? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi sees it all, and he knows, and the Halalyam knows, and everybody knows, man. Everybody knows. Even your basic person, man, that's just living a complacent life, they know that America is wicked, all right? If you can't see it, man, you just gullible. Like, you can see everything that she's doing, man. You got to come up out of this cloth of this delusion. And some brothers, you know, the delusion is placed on them by Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. But Lord willing, Yahawah, you hear this, and you hear what the brothers be saying, and you start realizing, man, that this place is evil. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants. From thy youth they shall wander, every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. Right? And we take that back over to Revelations 18, getting back to it. Let's start at 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. And we can get back to the video, because that's what's happening. That's what's taking place, man. Okay?
And since 2020, a lot of the businesses down here have been struggling. And now they're worried that there might be another tough time on the near horizon because of this driving tax.
The past few years have been hard, and just as he's almost operating at 100%, he will be losing money again. Not only because there will be less customers coming in, but he will have to pay more for the cost of goods and services.
So apparently having a business down here in the congestion zone means that business is going to get taxed 3 different ways. And the first and most obvious problem is that if you're a business owner, you're going to need a car to get down here, especially if it's not near the subway. Plus, many small business owners will use their personal vehicle to help get things to the business itself, which is something they're just going to have to pay extra to do now that it costs more to drive around. And this doesn't just affect little businesses like this bodega right here. Look, I've got a business. It doesn't sell anything physically, but it has a little office. There are things that need to go inside of it, and you can't move any of that stuff around. Printers, modems, computers, key racks, without some sort of car or vehicle. It's not possible. And what if your business doesn't just sell things on the street? If there's any online aspect of the business, you're going to have to ship stuff out, which means you're going to need packing materials, boxes, tape guns, and where do you think a tiny little souvenir stand is going to store all the stuff they sell? Most of that stuff is in a warehouse, and it gets here on a truck like this one right here, which has its door open. Whatever this stuff is, it ain't riding the subway, that's for sure. In fact, nothing this company uses is going to fit on a place that is so crowded you can't even stand and hold a coffee without being worried about spilling it, which means the second way businesses get taxed are when their delivery trucks show up and drop things off. Trucks like this pay a higher congestion fee as well, and if you have 5 deliveries a week, you're looking at like $120 extra every single week. $6,200 in extra fees a year. And then the third and most obvious tax on top of these other two is that now none of the customers have bothered to show up because they don't want to pay the fees either, or if they do decide to pay the fees, they come way less frequently. You've got to go out of your way to get down here if you're not from here, and tourist traffic, that's what keeps this type of neighborhood going. And that brings up an interesting question. How much traffic do these businesses get from random walk-ins? And how much traffic do they get from locally available sources like neighborhoods or apartments that are nearby?
How much money do you think you can be losing?
I would think about I get you about like $10,000 a month, how much?
Right, so the owner of that business thinks he's going to lose $10,000 a month. That's ridiculous. There are plenty of businesses down here that cannot afford to lose $120,000 a year. If that happens, the owners might just decide to shut down completely. That might be their salary. They'll go broke. But luckily, residents of this neighborhood have filed a lawsuit to try and get the congestion pricing taxes to be reversed. Of course, this is lawsuit 7 or 8 at this point, and it's doubtful how much effect these are going to have. But while a lot of the other lawsuits are focused on the environmental impacts of this, the one for Chinatown and these local businesses specifically says the new fees are going to devastate this 200-year-old historic community in ways that the city never anticipated, which should be pretty obvious. When these local grocery stores shut down, where else are you going to go buy eggplant on the sidewalk? You can't. And I don't see another grocery store around here, which means residents down here are going to have to travel further for just about everything, and that's not cheap. And neither are the apartments people are living in, which means some people may have to leave the city once this kicks in. Everything here is going to cost more to operate. It's going to cost more to shop at, all while not saving us from all of the pollution congestion pricing is supposed to get rid of. That's why there are other lawsuits, because it's just going to take the pollution that was here and push it to other parts of the city. Read.
Hey, so what are these things going to create? All that stuff he was saying, man. Let's go back to the Apocrypha. All right, 1 second. Apocrypha right here. So, second address. These things are going to create basically famine, man. And because these businesses, what do they add? They add employees. They are places for people to work, you know. So that's the small businesses and the big businesses, right? We was talking about Walgreens, Rite Aid, CVS, Macy's, you know, even Target is going to be closing some of their business. And Target, I thought they was straight. But hey, they're going to be closing certain stores, you know, around the nation. So you seeing this stuff take place. These are when you're speaking about a Target or, you know, big businesses like that, big corporations like that, those are hundreds of employees. And it's also more so than the employees that work in that actual building. You have truck drivers that's driving, delivering goods. You have people that's unloading. You have dockers, things like that goes into the logistics of the establishment, man. So you got all of this taking place. And it's once again, cause and effect. The domino effect of this economic woe that's taking place is going to be drastic. And it's going to lead to what? More crime, more famine, more pestilence, right? This place is, before your eyes, turning into a third world country, right? And I've seen some third world countries in my travels, man. And those things ain't nothing pretty to behold, man. I remember, just get sidetracking, but I remember being in the Philippines and somebody literally tried to sell me and my homeboys a baby for like $5 US, man. So that's the type of, you know, the woe that they was in. And that mess was crazy, you know? Because, I mean, I guess that's what's coming to this place. All right, let's read 2nd Esdras 15 chapter a little bit, and I'll wrap it up. So, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and sword in their hand. So, because of what? Because they can't provide. So people are going to be spoiling each other, which is to rob. For there shall be sedition among men, and the invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Kings and princes, they're not going to care for the government, the law. They're not going to, you know, the adversary. They're not going to care anymore. It's going to be an all-out war, all-out purge. This is why they have FEMA. This is why they have the NYC has bulked up their arsenal, and they have armored vehicles, right, with actual turrets coming out of it. You know, they're ready for it. It looks like they're ready for war, because they are. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You know, as it spoke of, men shall walk around like a woman in travail, like a woman having pregnant, being that scared, being that in that type of pain. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and that's the blinky, whatever you want to call it, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So we're seeing the effects, the economic woes, we're seeing that, and it's gradually getting to these points. In great tribulation, this is in the height of Jacob's trouble, you know. Behold, saith power, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also in recompense in their bosom. Thus saith Yahawah power. Alright? My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and have consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith Yahawah. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. All right, and I'm going to end it right there, man. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi knows who sins against him, and he's not going to spare any of them. Okay? So you got to live right. You got to repent and be converted and walk in this thing. Talking to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the true Israelites. All right? Which the Bible is speaking of. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. is dealing with us first and foremost. According to 1 Peter 4:17, he's going to deal with this house first and foremost. The house of Israel, the chosen nation. Understanding that. You know, so we're seeing these heathens lose all their businesses, their establishments, everything that they possess, and fall to a state of confusion, man. A place where they can't get back up from. Because they're not going to, the merchants of the earth that love Babylon, that have dwelled with Babylon, according to Revelations 18 chapter, man, no one's going to save them. They're going to cry and wail seeing America burn. You know, so, hey, if you are a heathen out there and you happen to come upon this and you actually own a business, you know, it's best to close up shop and just move out the country and pray somehow, you know, that you don't, and get ready for slavery. Just get ready for it, because that's what's coming, you know, at the end of the day. And for Jake, man, you know, turn back to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and keep these laws and commandments to the best of your ability. It's serious out here, and it's going to get even more serious. All right? So with that being said, all praises be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS that rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. Shalawam to the elect. Shalawam.